Please join in our gathering hymn number 7 in your gray hymnal, The Leaf Unfurling. Please rise as you're willing and able. Alexis Webb will light our chalice. Please join me in our chalice lighting words found in your order of service. We light this chalice, symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith, to remind us to connect in spirituality and service, to care for each other and the world, and to create loving community. Our guest minister today is Jen Kapernov. Jen is a 2-year intern minister at the Community Church Chapel Hill, Unitarian Universalist. She is currently a student at Meadville Lombard Theological School and is a graduate of Bennington College. She is a member of the Unitarian Society of New Haven.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here today. It is a great joy. So this morning's story is called Frederick. In case some of you know this, it is by Leo Leone. So all along the meadow, where the cows grazed and the horses ran, there was an old stone wall. In that wall, not far from the barn and the granary, a chatty family of field mice had their home. But the farmers had moved away, the bar was abandoned, and the granary stood empty. And since winter was not far off, the little mice began to gather corn and nuts and wheat and straw. They all worked day and night. All except Frederick. Frederick, why don't you work? They asked. I do work, said Frederick. I gather sun rays for the cold, dark winter days. And when they saw Frederick sitting there staring at the meadow, they said, and now, Frederick? I gather colors, answered Frederick simply, for winter is gray. And once Frederick seemed half asleep. Are you dreaming, Frederick? They said reproachfully. But Frederick said, oh no, I am gathering words, for the winter days are long and many, and we'll run out of things to say. The winter days came, and when the first snow fell, the 5 little field mice took to their hideout in the stones. In the beginning, there was lots to eat, and the mice told stories of foolish foxes and silly cats, and they were a happy family. But little by little, they had nibbled up most of the nuts and berries, the straw was gone, and the corn was only a memory. It was cold in the wall, and no one felt like chatting. Then they remembered what Frederick had said about the sun rays and colors and words. What about your supplies, Frederick? They asked. Close your eyes, said Frederick, and he climbed on a big stone. Now, I send you the rays of the sun. Do you feel how their golden glow? And as Frederick spoke of the sun, the 4 little mice began to feel warmer. Was it Frederick's voice? Was it magic? And how about the colors, Frederick? They asked anxiously. Close your eyes again, Frederick said, and when he told them of blue periwinkles and red poppies and the yellow wheat and the green leaves of the berry bush, they saw the colors as clearly as if they had been painted in their minds. And the words, Frederick cleared his throat, waited a moment, and then, as if from on a stage, he said, who scatters snowflakes? Who melts the ice? Who spoils the weather? Who makes it nice? Who grows the 4-leaf clovers in June? Who dims the daylight? Who lights the moon? 4 little field mice who live in the sky. 4 little field mice like you and I. One is the spring mouse who turns on the showers. Then comes the summer, who paints in the flowers. The fall mouse is next with walnuts and wheat, and winter is last with cold little feet. Aren't we lucky the seasons are for. Think of a year with one less or one more. When Frederick had finished, they all applauded. "Frederick," they said, "you are a poet." Frederick blushed, took a bow, and said shyly, "I know it." The end.
Welcome to worship at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Greensboro. I'm Betsy Lindsay, and I'm a member of this congregation. Unitarian Universalists believe that each person has a trustworthy relationship with the Spirit, with the Holy, with the source of all life, with what some call God, though we name it and know it differently from one another. And we believe that because we are interconnected, nobody is free until we are all free. So we strive to build beloved community here on earth, in our fellowship with one another, and in our work for justice. Whether today is your first or your 1,000th time in our midst, we are stronger because you are with us. We are one people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders. We are all growing, all learning, all loved. As we prepare for worship, please be sure your cell phones are turned off. Our ministry team here at UUCG is Cindy Dillard, our Director of Children's and Youth Ministry, Julie Hamilton, our Congregational Administrator, Colin McCrae, our Director of Music, and our minister, the Reverend Sadie Lansdale, who is off this Sunday. A covenant contains the promises we make to one another in response to the great gift of living, holding ourselves to these holy aspirations. Will you join me in our church covenant, located in your order of service? We, the members of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Greensboro, do covenant to promote a search for personal meaning, respecting the individual truth in a community process of quest. Speak and act with caring, courtesy, and love, thereby maintaining emotional, physical, and spiritual safety for all. Support UUCG and denominational efforts with our resources. Combat injustice while promoting equality. Nurture our children on their spiritual journey. Hold ourselves to this covenant, especially during times of conflict and disagreement. Please rise in body and your spirits to join our opening hymn, Woyaya, number 1020 in the teal hymnal. If you're joining us in the sanctuary, won't you wave hello to everyone online? And if you're online, go ahead and greet each other in the chat. If you're in person, let's greet our neighbors.
I'm sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love.
How beautiful it is to be together. We gather in gratitude this morning, turning our hearts to thanks and praise for the gift of living, in the presence of the Spirit that animates all life, and in the knowledge that we are powerfully, profoundly connected to all that is, all that has been, and all that will be. During these few moments of silence, you can focus on something you're grateful for, or someone you're remembering especially today, or just the sensation of your chair supporting you. Will you find a comfortable place in your seat and take a few easy breaths as we settle into our shared silence together? We bring the echoes of our hearts before our community and before the holy in this sacred space and time. If you're online, this is the time to share your joys and sorrows with one another in the chat. If you're in person and you have a milestone you would like added to our prayers, you can fill out a yellow card, which the ushers will collect from you. If there's a joy on your heart, you may come forward silently and place a flower in the vase here on our altar. If there's a sorrow or a burden or a fear, you may come forward and place a stone in the water. If there's someone special to you on your heart, you may light a candle of prayer and presence for them. If you're not sure how you're feeling, or maybe you're feeling a little antsy, there are pipe cleaners in the back to fidget with. This is our time to take stock of how we arrive here and to take what we need, knowing that the table is set for us all. Will you join me in prayer and presence? We name aloud or in the chat those people on our hearts, living or dead, near or far, that this community might hold them in love. Held by silence and song, we offer our joys and sorrows alike, knowing that they are woven fine. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Mary Alice Knight for peace and comfort as she goes softly into that good night. We love you, Mary Alice. All of us. From Ann Dickinson. All goes well this week. My out-of-state siblings will come here to celebrate Christmas. I think that said, if all goes well this week. Okay. Due to family emergencies, I'm getting it. Due to earlier family emergencies, we had to reschedule twice. I still have Christmas decorations up. Everyone is looking forward to meeting my puppy, Rusty. Christmas in April. Mariah's friend Angie is here today. Did you say it again?
Birthday.
It's her birthday today. Thank you, Mariah. Mariah's friend Angie's birthday is today.
Spirit of life and love, divine force in the universe, be with us as we hold in our hearts the birthdays of friends that we love, dear ones and family that are coming to visit for belated holidays, the gift of our furry friends that get to be enjoyed, and the passing of dear ones that affect us so deeply. There are so many things that we hold in our hearts, things that we share, and things that we are holding private in silence with us today. Let's take a moment in gratitude for the community that supports and loves us, that is with us through the beautiful times, through the dark times, and through the complicated times. To have a community to hold you and love you no matter what is such a special gift. We are grateful for the blessings we receive and the kindness we can share to others.
I'm sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I'm sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I'm sending you light to hold you in love.
Now we invite our children and youth to go to the RE wing for snacks and fellowship. Go in peace, go in love, go in joy.
This morning with a reading from Annie Dillard's Pilgrim at Tinker Creek. When I was 6 or 7 years old growing up in Pittsburgh, I used to take a precious penny of my own and hide it for someone else to find. It was a curious compulsion, and sadly I've never been seized by it since. For some reason I always hid the penny along the same stretch of sidewalk up the street. I would cradle it at the root of a sycamore or hold it or in a hole left by a chipped off piece of sidewalk. Then I would take a piece of chalk and starting at either end of the block, drawing huge arrows leading up to the penny from both directions. After I learned to write, I labeled the arrows "surprise ahead" or "money this way." I was greatly excited during all this arrow drawing at the thought of the first lucky passerby who would receive in this way, regardless of merit, a free gift from the universe. But I never lurked about. I would go straight home and not give the matter another thought until some months later, I would be gripped again by the impulse to hide another penny. It's still the first week in January, and I've got great plans. I've been thinking about seeing. There are lots of things to see: unwrapped gifts and free surprises. The world is fairly studded and strewn with pennies cast broadside from a generous hand. But, and this is the point, who gets excited about a penny? So this is my first time living in North Carolina. I moved here from Connecticut at the end of August, and I have had the most marvelous time watching the seasons change from this new perspective. One unexpected joy has come from a bird feeder that my mother got me for Christmas. I hung it outside my kitchen window, and I don't know if any of you are bird enthusiasts. I have a hard time getting to work in the morning because I don't want to miss who's coming and going. I love the eastern bluebirds and the house finches, and I sometimes have to pull my car over on the street when I see red-tailed hawks circling around. And now the hummingbirds are coming back, and you may be used to these little magical fairies dancing at the window, but I'm a New Englander. This is all new to me, and it is like watching pure magic. Are there daily things for you that bring you joy? Are there moments that surprise you? The reading today by Annie Dillard fills me with so much joy. There's something about the idea of a child hiding pennies, praying that someone will care to stop and look. A glorious surprise waiting to be stumbled upon. Arrows pointing the way, written enticements, promises of riches. If only someone will see it. I've been thinking about seeing, Annie Dillard wrote. The universe does that for all of us. It invites us to see or experience in our own way. Sometimes there are little sparkling joys whispering to us, and sometimes joy jumps out at us like a surprise party. Feeling deeply personal and handcrafted just for us in that moment, like a magical sparkling gemstone or a long lost and rediscovered friend. It makes me so sad to think of the joys that go unnoticed or disregarded. No matter how many arrows and signs point the way, joys that are begging for us to receive them. If we would only look up, maybe smile at a stranger, pay attention. No matter how badly our day is going or how frightening the world may seem. The title of my sermon today comes from a memoir by C.S. Lewis. I didn't realize he had gotten the title from a poem by Wordsworth, and it's quite a sad poem. In fact, where the spark of joy is a reminder of loss. But in Lewis's book, he talks about joy as something that takes hold of us and is fleeting like fragrance. Joy as something that carries an aspect of longing. And I was just so enchanted by this when I read it. Joy is a difficult word to define. It means different things to different people. I found two interesting opinions on the word. The first one says that the key essence of joy is connection beyond ourselves. With another person, a relationship with a supernatural being, some connection to something which is beyond ourselves. It has to have an element of transcendence to it. Happiness plus gratitude. And that's by Professor Robert Emmons. Another says that joy is fundamentally about a relationship with God, an expression that responds to times that when we see something in creation, or in redemption, or in salvation, that suddenly makes sense to us. We get excited about it and go, wow, that's really cool. Joy is both a steady state and a spontaneous reaction. And that's by Daniel Chua. So what brings us joy? For many of us, it's the birth of a child, the adoption of a pet, a breakthrough or discovery in our research or our artwork, an event or an experience in nature. And for some of us, joy comes from being of service to others. All of this holds something of the divine, a shifting in our reality. I have been blessed to have many of these shifts in my reality, and one of them stayed with me for decades. Let me tell you about Shark, the musical. It was a product, of a playwriting workshop that I did with 30 second grade students with severe behavior issues. We wrote it together with the music teacher and performed it for an audience of 350 people at Long Wharf Theater for the New Haven Citywide Playwriting Festival. Initially, the school administrators were skeptical that this project would work with this group of students, but the kids seemed so excited, so we said, yeah, let's give it a shot. The final storyline went something like this. A young, handsome surfer boy who lives on a small island with his family in a fishing village. There's also a beautiful mermaid who lives in the waters near the village, and she is madly in love with the surfer boy. She circles around him while he's surfing and always compliments his style. He doesn't pay any attention. So one day while he's out surfing, she conjures up a storm to playfully throw him off balance and toss him into the water. But she gets a bit carried away, and the storm goes out of control. A huge wave carries the surfer boy away from his island. He plunges deep into the cold water. He feels himself being pulled deeper and deeper, and just when he starts to panic, suddenly he feels himself being lifted up, all the way to the top of the water, and just as he takes his first breath, he is surprised by a young shark. Their eyes meet. They fall instantly in love. The shark carries the boy back to his island, and they say goodbye, promising to meet again soon. After this, the surfer boy sneaks out every chance he gets to meet his new love, the shark. Now, he knows that his family would never approve, so he keeps it on the down low. But one day, the mermaid sees him sneaking off and gets suspicious. She follows him, and she is shocked by what she sees, immediately swims back to the island to his family to tell him all about it. His whole family is waiting when he comes home. They tell him that sharks are dangerous and evil, and he is never to date a shark again. Surfer Boy says he doesn't care. He's going to marry the shark, and they're going to live happily ever after. The boy's father yells out, "We don't marry sharks in this family." Surfer Boy ignores his father and heads back to the water with his surfboard. The mermaid is enraged. She offers to show the family where they are off canoodling, determined to break up the marriage before it happens. Meanwhile, the shark's family is equally unhappy with the announcement, and they decide to have it out with the surfer boy's family. The human family take off in their rowboats heading towards the sharks, and they sing, "Look out for sharks, look out for sharks, look out for sharks, I say. They're mean, they'll bite, they'll get you in the night. Sorry, I'm no Sadie. Then we see the shark family swimming toward the human boats. Those humans, they're deadly. They only want to fight. The families meet in the water. It's about to turn ugly when each of the mothers see the shark and the surfer boy holding on to each other in the water. They see how happy their children are together. They beg everyone to stop fighting and listen to what they have to say. The surfer boy and the shark declare their love for each other and state that they are determined to be together no matter what. The mothers point out they don't like each other because they are afraid. They are afraid because they don't understand each other. The mermaid gets blamed for the whole debacle and is told to go away. The families agree to get to know each other and to build a home for the surfer boy and the shark, part in the water, part in land, and they live together happily forever. Now, the kids did a great job writing the show, but my goodness, they were a handful. Rehearsals were chaotic to the point that the school seriously considered shutting it all down. The night of the show, everyone was nervous. The teachers were nervous, the families were nervous, the children were nervous, but they were so excited. Everyone expected the performance to degenerate into a frenzy of kicking, hurling curses, flying objects. I gave the children the same advice I give to all of my students at such times. Don't worry if you mess up your lines. Nobody knows what it's supposed to be. You wrote it. I also tell them it doesn't matter if they wet their pants, fall over, throw up. Their families love them, and they're here for them. They don't care if something goes wrong. And we told them we believed in them. The show was hysterical. The mermaid's wig was tilted, the shark's fins were pointing in all directions, the kids were dancing whether there was music or not. But they had so much fun, and no matter what happened, they just kept going. They wanted us to hear their story, and they wanted us to listen to their songs. They helped each other, and they got through it. As the children came out for the curtain call, they miraculously lined up, held hands, and took a bow. 350 people started applauding. After a few moments, the audience rose to their feet. Family members started calling out their child's name. You could hear a random, "That's my baby," coming from different parts of the crowd. The kids stood with so much pride and dignity. They absorbed a 350-person standing ovation that lasted for several minutes. The parents and teachers cried. I cried. But the children started dancing. The mermaid's wig finally fell on the floor and everybody lost it. I saw parents that were so used to being told that their children were impossible or would amount to nothing, see their children with fresh eyes. In that moment, their children weren't difficult. They weren't problems. They were special. They were wonderful. Their children were divine beings that held all the magic and possibility of the universe inside of them. And I saw parents fall in love with their children all over again. Joy took hold of me. Joy as connection beyond myself. And I witnessed connection to something beyond each child, each parent, the audience. There was most definitely an element of transcendence, happiness plus gratitude, a steady state and a spontaneous reaction and a shifting in my reality. Each of us has these moments, not just with children. They can happen with our partners, our animal companions, our research, our gardens, the world around us. There are moments when we are given a glimpse into something fleeting and magnificent. And the experience is transcendent. or we suddenly see something ever present and also magnificent, and that experience is transcendent. These moments of joy allow us the opportunity to fall in love with the elements in our lives all over again, experience them in a new way. So how do we prepare ourselves for joy? By being vulnerable, by being open, by knowing that loving something deeply can hurt us and still saying yes, and by noticing what stands in our way: cynicism, anger, self-protection, and fear. I told my sister that I would be speaking on joy, and she said, "Why?" Who wants to hear about joy? The world is on fire. And I said, yes. It does feel like the whole world is on fire. There are escalating wars in far too many places. Our planet is in crisis. In this country, we're entering a year of what I can only imagine will be extreme political unrest, tension, and fear. I don't think many of us know what tomorrow will bring. That's why joy is so important. In dark times, our tradition calls us to serve as a light in the world. Our chalice is a symbol of hope and sanctuary for those in trouble. And as laws change and realities shift, many people will find themselves without a safe harbor. We are called to be that safe harbor. And when we are exhausted and burnt out, joy is what fills us up. It keeps us going. Joy is the oil in our lantern. When we get tired and frustrated and so angry, joy reminds us why we keep fighting. Experiencing joy reminds us that life is still worth living. Joy is a whisper from the universe saying that it is made up of infinite and wondrous things which we can never fully understand, but of which we are a part. So may we always pay attention to those whispers. May we always look for those copper pennies. May we look for and remember those precious moments of joy that hold us together. I wish you all many moments of joy. And as we pray for peace in this year, may we hold on to joy, hold on to hope, and hold on to love. Amen.
Please rise as you're willing and able for hymn number 410 in your great hymnal, Surprised by Joy.
Reach for one another.
One of the ways we live out our mission to create loving community is to contribute financially to the ministries of this congregation and to the good work of our community partners. One of the ministries of this church is the Minister's Discretionary Fund, which is available to anyone in a tough spot. We can help with medical bills, rent, groceries, or other needs. Reverend Sadie's email and phone number are on the back of your order of service, or you can contact the church through our website. Another of the ways that we live out our mission to create loving community is to contribute financially to the ministries of this congregation and to the good work of our community partners. Our offering this month goes to Muslim Women for 2023, a national organization that provides political education, civic engagement, and brave spaces. The organization is organized, led, and facilitated by Muslim women and femme that recognize, celebrate, and uplift the work and experiences of Muslim women and women of color. Examples of their work in North Carolina include Get Out the Vote initiatives in Black, brown, working class, and Muslim communities across the state, advocacy for the people of Palestine, reproductive justice education and programming, development and sustainment of a mutual aid program for North Carolina community members, providing healing justice programs for all community members, providing political education, rapid response, and advocacy events as needed, and hiring and training youth that will be the ones to continue this work in the future. If you'd like to make a contribution for our offering to be split with Muslim women for 2023, you can do so at the link in the description of this video. You can mail a check or you can text GIVE to the number in your order of service. Ushers will come forward to collect the offering, which will now be gratefully received. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Don't let anyone blow it out, I'm gonna let it shine. Don't let anyone blow it out, I'm gonna let it shine. Don't let anyone blow it out, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Will you join me in our chalice extinguishing words found in your order of service? We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. If you're online and you'd like to get more connected, you can click the link in the description of this YouTube video and let us know how we can connect with you. If you're in person, you can fill out a pink salmon card at the visitors table. Visit our website for our contact form, or simply stick around after worship for our post-worship reflection with Jen Karparov. During our postlude, anyone who needs to or wishes to leave may go with our blessing. We will have adult religious exploration here in the sanctuary, focusing on how our service speaks to your life. So go grab some coffee and come join us. Now, we have several announcements this morning, so I'm going to ask Selena McCrae to come forward first.
Good morning, everyone. UUCG has been kind enough to support an organization very close to my heart the past few weeks with their Family Room donation drive. Thank you to everyone who has already donated. Over 5,000 children enter foster care every year in North Carolina, whether they're picked up by a social worker at school, a daycare, the hospital, or their home. They often enter foster care with only what is on their person. And foster families can go weeks before financial assistance begins. By contributing to the drive, you are providing foster families with the items these children need right away: socks, underwear, diapers, etc. Just a reminder that if you're interested in donating any of these items, please place them in the labeled bins and the entranceway by next Sunday, April 14th. This goes a long way in providing the items that Family Room needs for foster families. At Family Room, we like to say, not everyone can foster, but anyone can help. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Selena. Okay, we also have an announcement from Phoenix Putney about Soulful Sundown. This religion of ours provides a rare and precious opportunity to explore whatever spiritual path you choose. Now we have a ministry that allows you to deepen your spiritual explorations through the most sacred activities of our Sunday services: meditation, singing, and personal reflection. It's called Soulful Sundown, which will happen one Friday a month at 5:30. The first session is coming up on April 19th. To learn more, see convener Phoenix Putney in the foyer after church. There's Phoenix over there. Okay, then our president, Amelia Maddox, has an announcement.
Thank you, everyone. As you may, again, my name is Amelia Maddox. I'm the president of our congregation. My pronouns are she, her. We are in pledge drive season, and we're wrapping it up this week. And so thank you for everyone who has already put in your pledge. Now, also, I would like to really extend a huge thank you to Linda Sullivan and Kathy Loudermilk, our stewardship committee, for all of their hard work. We cannot have a pledge drive without these folks. It really goes a long way when we have amazing volunteers who are putting in a lot of work to connect with you so that we can figure out what our budget will be for the upcoming budget year. Now, we know that some of you might have some questions about what is a pledge drive or what is a pledge and how is that different than what I'm contributing every week. So a pledge is more like a promise of what you will pledge in our upcoming fiscal year or financial year. Our financial year runs July 1st to June 3rd. And our Board of Trustees starts looking at the budget for that fiscal year in January. So we start looking at the budget in February, and March is when we start thinking about how much we need so that we can continue to run our church and the programs that we run through our church, and so that we can pay our staff to help us run those programs. Then in April, this month, the board votes on the final budget based on the promises that you have made for our upcoming fiscal year. And then in May, we'll have a full congregational meeting where you, the congregation, our members, have to approve that budget. But we can't do it unless we know what you are going to pledge for that next year. For the upcoming year, we're hoping to expand our ability to connect with new members. We want to continue our music and religious education ministries and help them to grow even more. And we're also going to sponsor Greensboro Pride again this coming year at the Sapphire level, which is $3,000, y'all. That's a big deal. Yeah. So I'm really proud of the work that we're doing here with our church, and I want us to be able to continue to do that work. And so thank you all for those of you who have put in your pledges. We are about 70% of the way there. So let's get that 30% this week so that next week the board can vote on the budget. Thank you.
So as we go forth today, may we feel held by the beauty of this season, warmed by the golden rays of the sun's light, thrilled by the spectrum of colors, and filled with the blessed words we have received. May they give us courage and hope to go forward this day. Go in peace, go in love, and go with so much joy. Amen.
Please join in our benediction hymn. From this house, the words are in your order of service.
From this house will the world, we will go hand in hand. From this house